to the fifth episode, the fourth episode of Brown Liquor, and it is going to be a doozy. The fifth episode. Look at us. We got a whole hand now. Okay. So we're doing the fifth episode. I can't say the fifth and final because it's not our final episode. But this is our fifth episode. And we've got a doozy coming today. So listen, y'all. This is what I need y'all to do first and foremost. I would love for you guys to go on over to YouTube, look up Brown Liquor 5, and subscribe. I really would like to see you guys really start engaging with our videos because we enjoy doing these things and we really want you guys to be a part of our community, and we have some exciting fun things coming up and we want you guys to be the first to get those updates. So what we're really hoping to do in the future is start coming to you guys a little bit more frequently with updates. My other two co-hosts did not know that until just now. But like, if we're going to have something dropping or we're doing something exciting, we want to be able to put that all in one place. And Facebook and Instagram is awesome sauce, but the platform, the YouTube platform is really set up for all of that plus more. So just trot on over to YouTube, look up Brown Liquor 5, and we will be there, and subscribe because we love y'all and we want to be able to share our appreciation and love with you all. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So what are we talking about today, Adanya? Give us.
Let Adanya talk, then she'll tell you.
Oh wow! This show is getting ruder by the more rude, and callous to be exact. By the episode, so by the end of this, we gonna literally be fighting. So I mean, whatever. Let's go. Let's
That's
get
what
it.
Brown Liquor do to you, though. You know, you
Brown make you clown.
You know, sometimes you get a little loose around the roots. You know, that's all it is.
I don't need nothing else to get loose.
Okay, so for those of you wondering about my hair wrap,
No one was wondering. No one actually. I thought we was good. It's like that meme where it say nobody, Adonia. So y'all was wondering about where I got my hair wrap from.
Nobody asked that question. Nobody asked.
I thought we was going to talk about the show.
Maya, I didn't notice something different is about your hair. Can you tell me? Oh my God.
Oh my goodness, Amber, I am so glad you asked. So we all know I've been on this quest for wraps, you know, to protect my lovely, lovely locks, right? So I got this wrap from their Instagram tag is Love Wraps. Hold on, I got a thing. Hold on.
I'm glad she did put on pants because she did say she was gonna get up.
And she meant that. So I'm so excited that we have our first product plug.
Our first product plug. It's called Love Wraps. That is their handle. They have lovewraps@gmail.com, and it's wraps with a Z. And they have so many different sizes. Like this one, I think it's a medium or something because I got a lot of hair. And then
that's the medium?
Because I definitely thought that was a large.
I thought that was a bedspread when you pulled it out. Like, sis is not skipping on the fabric, okay?
Sis is coming through with the fabric. And, like, it feels so good and, like, silky. And, like, I just love it so much.
Is it breathable? Because, you know, sometimes
it's very, very breathable. Like, I'm a sweaty person. My scalp and edges are not sweating.
What's her name again?
Sis name.
She don't even know.
I don't know what sis name is.
The business.
But Love Wraps with a Z.
Love Wraps with a Z.
Well, shout out to Love Wraps because we do love wraps over here.
Because he hooked me up with it. I messaged. We in a lock culture group on Facebook.
Yeah.
Entanglement.
No,
entanglement.
No,
just kidding, sir. Just kidding.
I think he posted
got a whole wife out there. I'm sorry.
Or some picture on his tag, and I was like, "Yo, where you get your wraps from?" And he hooked me up. So,
well, shout out to sis because let me tell you that Brown Liquor, we really do love wraps. I mean, you're gonna always catch one or more of us in a wrap on a show. It's what we do.
Have like a Rap Tuesday or something, you know.
Oh, we should. Or Rap Wednesday.
And our raps, you know, like.
Should we rap though? It's like Love and Hip Hop Rap gonna come through the show. We got time for 2 or 3 more.
Okay, Adanya, what's the show about? Because
okay, without waiting any longer, this show we are going to talk about the world versus yours truly. You're black women.
Oh, lift your braces up when you talk. We can't hear you sometimes.
You said George.
I thought you said George. I thought you was going to say George. I was like, George Floyd.
Well, you did not just tell me to lift my braces up.
You just sometimes you do get a little lazy. You like, I'm like just getting caught in the wires. I can't hear you.
You know what? These things ain't gonna be in my mouth much longer, and y'all.
I can't wait till you get
it. Unless I sing for y'all. Period. I learned it too from. Okay, anyway.
We gotta get into this show, y'all. I tell you, this like the best. I got the best people here. Y'all we just talk about anything. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
So let's go ahead and start off with introductions. Okay, I'm Adania, the fourth and final.
This is Alicia, and that's Amber S.
Why can't I never do my own introduction? I don't understand. Why you just
Amber S?
Because you be
Amber S.
Because you literally just be sitting there like somebody introduced me, and I just do it.
Because I feel like you don't enter a room without a moment.
Amber, you introduce yourself with the quote. So go ahead and shout us with a quote real quick.
Now it's Amber S, since that's seemed to be mine.
Can you change your name on Zoom to that? Because the last name is throwing me off.
It's my real name. My mom gave me that name.
Okay.
All right. The quote is by Malcolm X.
Oh!
Drum roll, please. Drum roll. The most disrespected person in America is the black woman.
Ooh.
The most unprotected person in America is the black woman.
Mm-hmm.
The most neglected person in America is the black woman. Power to my people, Malcolm X.
Okay, so I love that quote. Can we please just unpack it a little bit, though? Like,
sure.
I think we don't like switching into serious mode. I don't think we like really think about what he was saying in that moment, like what he was really trying to call, like the call to action that he was actually really trying to make. And I don't think enough of us really understand how the black woman feels in their everyday life. And I think people kind of look at it as like, well, I do what I have to do, but we're really not taking being intentional about making sure that this woman, the black woman, feels like she has some place she can run to. Which reminds me of this story really quickly that just happened on Instagram. There's a lady living in, is it New Jersey? It's either New Jersey or Staten Island. It's one of the two. I did not know that they were so racist over there. I had no idea. So anyway, she bought a home. She's a nurse, and she bought this home, and she's living between two racist or white supremacist families. And they've been like throwing bags of poop, flaming poop in her yard, walking around outside in her backyard with loaded weapons. And she's filed a complaint, and the police have only told her that in order for them to make an arrest, they actually have to do physical harm to her. And so no one's helping this woman. And so most recently, this young black man has been staying the night in her front yard, like on the street. He sleeps out in his car to make sure that her and her son won't be harmed. And he's been doing this for like a week now. And so he's been like just chronicling his journey, and just like, he's like, we got to do our part now. Whenever you see us going through it in the trenches, you always find the black woman, but you rarely see that happening with her on the flip side. So he's like, he gonna do his part. So he's literally been sitting outside this woman's house, and he has a full-time job. He has things that he has to do in the mornings, but he's sitting outside of her home to make sure that these people aren't harassing her. And then you also have the post that Meg Thee Stallion just made, where she was saying, that y'all laughing about what I've gone through, and I'm really traumatized. And you're looking at it from the outside, and it's like, oh, she got shot in the foot, but that could have easily been her chest. It could have been her carotid artery. It could have been in her thigh, which is that artery runs through your leg. Like, anything could have happened, and we could have lost Meg Thee Stallion. I'm not a fan of all the twerking in the booty, but it's just, that's a human. And for us to like 50 Cent again making jokes about it, it just,
my heart goes out to the legs, for real. I feel awful for her.
I feel like we should just call her Denise because she's got some good ones.
If she would have got shot in her knee, though, that would have been.
I mean, shoot, her foot is the foundation, though.
Yeah. She's not going to have
I'm
much
gonna
to
stick
stand
with the
on.
legs.
I like
I
that, though.
like
It
the
does
legs.
sound good. It sounds good, though.
But
I,
you said something really cool because I think when we think about Malcolm X when he wrote this quote, we have to think about all the things that were happening around the world. Yet he felt the need to place emphasis on the lives of Black women because we are as Black women just so monumental and so influential and so necessary for a lot of life to be changed and be prospered and to occur. And so, like, if we're not protecting the Black women, number one, our generations are not being multiplied and, pushed further because without women, of course, how the kids gonna be made? You know what I'm saying? But we were just such a impact into the production and the prosperity of the change that he was fighting for during that time. And so I think it
for
was
sure.
necessary for him to write this quote for us to realize, as Black women and as Black men, that we are valuable and we deserve to be protected. We deserve to be loved. But regardless of everything, like he said, we are the most unprotected,
Mm-hmm.
but we're the ones who are the first to show up in all of your battles. I saw this post on Instagram, and it was this guy. He was basically commending this Caucasian lady for during the protest. She was standing at the front line of the protest because they knew that if the Black male was out there, that the police would shoot. And so he was just like commending her, and he was just like, this white woman is just so amazing because she's standing in this front line, so they won't shoot us. And then this other lady, she was a Black lady, she said the difference between her is that she'll stand in front knowing that they won't shoot, and as
Mm-hmm.
a Black woman we'll stay in front knowing they're gonna shoot us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Right.
that's a different kind of loyalty and different kind of love that we share for our people. And I think
I don't want to really throw that because I did hear you say against, and I'm not saying anything is wrong with that, but we want to make sure that we say that it's not that we feel that there's 100% let's eradicate the Black woman, but we don't feel that enough people with platforms are celebrating us in the way that we should be celebrated, and are really looking into what we bring and the support that we bring to the culture, the support that we bring to the movement, the support that we do with anything. I don't feel that gets celebrated enough. And as Amber said, that a white woman can go stand on the front lines and it's, oh my God, she's so dope, and we're so appreciative. But like she said, countless Black women have been brutalized, murdered, just things that are too gruesome to even discuss. And I mean, shoot, you can't even forget the OG, Harriet, running around here free, freeing people. And I mean, for real,
I didn't
she
like that
was.
Harriet movie though, but
I didn't like the
it was
movie,
drama. It was
I
but
very,
didn't watch it.
yeah.
I never watched it either. But she was fearless out here. Like, she was fearless. One woman out here freeing the masses. Like, you can't even make a comparison. So, as for this show, we really want to try to offer some tips and just let Adonia work her magic because she got on her magic turban today.
I'm past the power on to you. I give you my throne. It is yours.
So y'all, so check this out. So informational tip of the day. So since the 1970s, women have made up an increasingly share of the Black and African American labor force.
Mm-hmm.
So there were 10.7 million Black women in the labor force in 2018, which represents 53%. Did y'all hear me?
53.
53%
Yes.
of the Black workforce. So, by contrast, women overall accounted about 47% of that in the total labor force in 2018. So, I say all of that to ask, what roles do you guys feel that Black women play within our society? And in that, how is she treated? How are you treated?
Poorly.
She said
Damn,
poorly.
Ulysses. Right. She's
I can speak from my experience as a Black woman. I don't know everybody else's experience, and I'm pretty sure it's different.
No, it's probably
But
the same.
but I was talking to Ms. Ray about this a few days ago. It's just that we are, we have to give so much of ourselves to everybody, and our energy is kind of being drained, and we have to save the world for everybody. But when our cup is empty and it's time for somebody to save us, it's just like we now become that bitter or that angry black woman, or you need to get your stuff together, and it's just like we were too busy saving you. Now our scars need to be wounded, and it's just where we at.
You're bitter and you need to gain control.
Right. So I can't really specify, what is our role because we wear so many caps, I think, as Black women in society. But I do know that we spend so much energy saving other people when no one is really going to be there to save us when we need it.
Right.
And that's just kind of like my take on it. Now I'm not saying everybody out there ain't ish, but that's just how, I feel about it.
Amber ass feel.
Amber ass. I
But
mean, I could echo that sentiment in the fact that we have to wear so many hats, but um Black women for so long have been the foundation of everything. I mean, I'm just gonna call a thing a thing. She's been the foundation for every single thing. A lot of these families that quote unquote say that they don't like Black people, they don't like anything that we stand for, we're lazy, with this, with that. But let's just drive that time machine all the way back to when we were in the days of slavery, and this is where generational wealth was created for white people. Let's talk about who really kept that family fed, who really raised those kids, who really made sure that the actual slave owners got up the next day, put their clothes on, gave them their baths, did all this stuff. It was the Black woman that did all these things, but yet and still there's no credit given. So it just kind of blows my mind when I hear these families or these white people say, oh, we've been established since the 1802s and we do this and we do that. But at the end of the day, everything that you had was built off of somebody's grandma, somebody's great grandma that took care of you, took care of your kids. When she was nursing her kids, she had to nurse your children as well. There even was a time frame, and there even was this thing to where there was one breast that she could not feed her own child with,
right.
on her own body.
Mm-hmm.
Because she had to make sure that white baby had that breast, because he couldn't feed from behind the black baby. Like, what kind of doggone sense do that make? So with that being the case, in our society, she's the foundation for everyone's existence on some level, but yet we get no credit for that. So in regards to the how is she treated, I say poorly.
I would like to revert back to the original question about professionalism,
Okay.
because I feel like a lot of people, a lot of Black women, especially in supervisory positions, are not allowed to be introverted. When I go to work, I feel like I come to work to do a job, okay? And I want to do that job as effective as I can, and then I want to skedaddle and go ahead and live the rest of my life, because my life does not revolve around this job.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that sometimes, people have bad days. People wake up on the wrong side of the bed. Some days I go to work and I just really don't want to be bothered. Right. I just want to focus on what I got going on at work, kind of keep my head in a space and leave it at that. But when I'm doing that, I'm perceived as I have an attitude, or I'm in a bad mood, or I'm about to snap, or whatever the case. And in reality, like, I'm just working,
Want to be left alone.
Yeah, like I'm just working, I promise you. But Amber said something about a tag that she saw. Like, is that what they're called? A tag on Instagram?
Yeah, we call it.
So there was one that I saw that's kind of been going around. It's just like, if they're kneeling on Black men, well, I guess it's probably men more one, but I feel like it really holds a lot of weight. But if they're gonna be racist out in public, what do you think that they're doing behind the closed doors in HR, or when it comes time for your promotions and things as such? Now, I want to slide in and share like a story. There was like
asking a question.
No, I was not asking a question. I'm about
I
to
really
share a
want to hear
story,
this story.
and then I won't. And then I'm gonna let you talk.
Okay.
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 All right.
All right.
So I started at this new agency. You know, some agencies you got to be in a position for a certain amount of months before you can progress. And in that, a position came available, which probably was going to, afford obviously more money. It's a higher position. Duh, who doesn't want to advance in an agency? Nobody wants to be
Some
stuck in
people
the same
don't.
position for.
Some
I
people
don't know
do.
why. I don't know why, but that's ridiculous. You need to have some level of ambition in your life, some level. Okay. Um, but it was basically hinted to me or told to me that I wouldn't be considered for that position along with no other position within that agency because sometimes I can act a little ghetto and and the fact that that was even perceived like, first of all, clearly if you think I'm ghetto, you don't know ghetto. Like, let's be
What
very,
does that
very
even
clear.
mean to be ghetto?
That's what I was just about to ask, but
That
I
was
wanted
my
her to
next
finish.
question. That was my next question. So, and the fact that, you know what I'm saying, this was said to for someone who literally has my future in this agency in their hands, and then they're just like, oh no, we don't want that out, in public. We don't want our face on that. So here I am stuck in the same position with no opportunity to grow because one person said that I could be ghetto at times. Now,
And what does that even mean? Like, what in the world does that even mean?
Because
exactly.
I have a different experience with the term ghetto. Because I mean, like we ghetto is derived from a lifestyle in which predominantly white people lived in the beginning. Like
It
this,
was a neighborhood. It was
it
a
was a
jam-packed
neighborhood,
neighborhood, and the term originated from Italian Americans
right?
when they came over and they had to live in really tight, compressed areas, and it started to become known as the ghetto.
That's what I
But
said.
it
If you think
didn't.
I'm ghetto, then obviously you don't know what ghetto means.
It didn't define, the way that you speak, or it was just basically this place that you live in. So I don't like when people say you're ghetto or she's ghetto, you sound ghetto. It's just like, what does that even
What
mean?
does it
Like,
mean?
I'm a black woman, and when I get angry, best believe my voice gonna have a little bit of passion behind it.
Right.
No, you're hostile when you're angry, love.
That's what I was about to say. It doesn't mean I'm hostile, but that's kind of reality we face. Even in our professional world as black women, even as a teacher, like there'll be parents sometimes get upset, and it's just like if a parent come to me, I can't respond to that parent the way that my white counterpart coworkers can, because it's just that I'll be perceived as being unfair, or especially when it comes to a child who's the opposite color as I am, But even then, and that kind of leads to our next point, even when with black parents, other black parents, it's just like, I'm a black woman just like you're a black woman, like you should be able to identify with, my passion and where I'm coming from when I'm speaking, so passionately about your child. It has nothing to do with hostility. I don't want to come across the table and slap you. I'm not about to get angry, and like I'm very healthy. I know how to cope with my emotions. Like all
Right.
I'm doing is having a conversation with you, and it's just that the moment the tone of my voice change, or if I move my hand a certain way, or
You're losing
if
control,
I lose
sis.
eye contact, or whatever it is, the moment something goes different in the conversation, it's just like, oh, you being hostile. Now I need to back up. And it's just like,
It ain't even a backup. It's like they meet you with hostility in some aspects.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to have a normal conversation.
But that's just because, and I don't know if this was your next point, and I'm not going to go too far into it, but, sometimes when people meet with you, because they have not made it to certain places in their life, they automatically put you in a place to where they see you as being above them. Now, I'm not saying that that's accurate. I'm not saying that that's correct. But what I am saying is that's their own insecurity. So then when you start speaking, it's kind of like, oh, she's talking down to me. Well, no, I was never above you. You put me there. So I don't know if that was that's all I want to say, and I'm going to leave it at that so we can go.
That's exactly where I was going, Miss Ray. Like seriously,
Are you
like
joking?
I remember. No, seriously. Like I
Okay.
remember, not even in the teaching field, but like even just like having a normal conversation with somebody in my personal life about a situation that was going on, and I'm not going to disclose too many details because the parties did not give me permission to share the story. But what I am going to say is that what I am going to say is I was
You
having.
got no money. Don't sue us.
They can't sue us. We don't got it.
We don't got it.
Oh no, it wasn't ready. No, no. But anyways, but I was having a conversation with this other young lady, and I was just basically expressing my position in the situation and how I feel about certain parts. And I mean, and it wasn't even coming from a place of anger or, it was just very genuine, just to say, listen, I don't care if you agree or disagree, whatever is about to come out my mouth, but I am genuinely telling you how I feel about this particular situation. And instead of listening to what I said, like her immediate response was just like, oh, she thinks she better than me. And I'm just like, why? Because I'm having a normal conversation. Like, I'm not putting myself on a platform. I'm expressing my feelings. I don't think I'm better than nobody. I mean, I think I am the ish. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not talking to other women to belittle them. I never call a woman out her name. I mean, unless, I really don't even do it, honestly. Unless
I was
sometimes
about to say I don't either, but I did it in front of everybody last week.
I mean,
Y'all did not tell me I called Jada out of her
sometimes you
name.
get out of your
You did, and I said not on brown liquor. I tried to.
She was like, a B, not a B.
We don't endorse that type of language.
But I don't. Even if it's a situation where, like, I feel like I'm being, targeted, or I'm being the kind of the victim, I guess, of the situation. Like, I just don't believe in, degrading or belittling fellow Black women. I think
We need more sisters like you, Amber.
But you know what I do like to do? I love to speak so eloquently that they don't realize that they just got cussed out. Oh, I do love that. That's my hobby. I'm like, let me tell you.
That's the opposite of my mama. She be cussing.
And like Amber, you are really talking here, okay?
Right.
Are I like I said, I've shared this story on another one of our episodes, but I've been in places to where I've known that I've maxed out with my growth because I'm not allowed to go any further. I was actually in law school, and I'm sitting, y'all, I was so goofy. I had just went natural.
But go ahead.
I grew out of it. I just went natural, so I thought it would be cute to have aquamarine hair. I thought that would be so adorable. So I had.
Why you look at her like that, Amber?
That's that judgment.
Exactly.
I was looking at a text message.
So I had aquamarine hair, and I remember we used to have to go through, like, in your freshman year or your 1L year, you have to go through like these different little people come in and they speak. And so we had this, and I went to school in Memphis, and we had this one firm come in and just have this hold this forum with us. And so there was one Black girl on the panel, and Black woman, sorry. There was one Black woman on the panel, and she told everybody, she goes, and she had, like, her hair was nice and slicked back, and she had like a really sleek, nice ponytail. And she went through, now she's on this panel with all white men.
Right.
She's the only Black woman. And she stood up out of her chair while talking, and she stands up and she goes, you, and y'all need to straighten your hair. Y'all will never get a job. She's like, I got a job, so I can pretty much do what I want to do, but y'all can't get a job looking like that. It's unprofessional.
Wow.
And I was just like, what? What? Like, I could not believe that she let that come out of her mouth, and to such impressionable people, because at that time, of course, you're new to law school. You like, oh my God, I'm so awesome, I'm so great, and I'm nervous and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And then you realize, like, this is the culture, this is the attitude that people have when they see a Black woman in her natural glory. I woke up like this, minus the hair dye. So it's just like, you literally just told me not to be who I naturally am. You literally just told me that you're not good enough for this job. And the confidence,
Black woman,
the confidence to which you said that was astounding to me. Like, it was just astounding. So again, back to my first point, we're treated poorly.
Okay,
But check this out.
That hurt me.
You say that, like, I don't know what state it was, but some state just passed that Black women can wear their natural hair in the workplace.
When could we not?
We couldn't.
I mean, what I'm saying is that's a problem.
Right.
Like the hair that grows out of your scalp, you are now legally able to wear that hair
without them saying anything to it about
right.
it.
You remember Miss Ray when I was doing my interview the other day and I was getting ready and I was like, "Hey, Miss Ray, you think I should wear my natural hair out?" And she was like, what you asked me that question for? Like, yes, like,
girl, I'm all about setting some standards. I'm gonna tell you out the rip. This what you gonna get. Now, I might fix it up some days. I might not. I mean, this what you gonna get. So you gonna hire me or you not? Because when they be like, what else? What questions do you have? Like, when can I clock in? That's my question. When y'all want me to start? No. Oh, speaking of, are y'all comfortable with asking for money,
higher pay? I was about to
say, like, are y'all comfortable?
I was really about to ask that.
Y'all, I had the bubble guts when I went in there and asked the lady, like, because when she offered me my first salary at this one job, I was like, what? This must be the sample salary, because what the rest of it. So I called my cousin. I'm just like, oh my god, girl, they done offered me. You know, the job seemed like but I was like, this job is easily a $55,000 job. Like, bruh, like, where the rest of it? And she was like, you need to go in there and you need to tell them what you demand. She was like, and for me, I always shoot high. Like,
you can meet in.
So then that way when they come down, they were.
That's what I really wanted. So,
right. So you know, you go in there, bitch. You like, give me 75 racks.
I want 100 stacks. I'm doing it.
I go in there like Kanye every time. Every single time I go in on my Kanye-ish where he said, give me 50 million, I'ma quit. This is like,
damn, you don't even have a job yet. What are you talking about?
Give me 100,000, I'm walking out the door.
So to take it more to a serious aspect, like I applied for.
I was serious.
I hate you. I really do.
She said she grew out her goofiness. Look at this clown. Go ahead, Diane. I'm here for you.
Thank you, Ambrose. Anywho,
when I do something, I always make it a learning moment. So I always feel like God just put that on me because I had to learn how to stand up for myself. Right. I don't really realize as a Black woman how, and I'm saying this with quotes, how used to divert my eyes I really am. You know, like we're taught instinctively almost to be timid. We don't want to overspeak. We don't want to overshare. We don't want to go in and make too many demands because we are taught that you don't want to rock the boat at the expense of losing everything that you've possibly worked toward and gaining. So it's just, I'm having to learn how to really walk in that boldness and be okay with, if they tell me no, then I'm charging God with, you're going to have to make a way for me. If you're not going to let these people treat me properly, give me what I asked for, then you just going to have to find me another job and I'm going to wait. I really have learned in this last season to really rely on him as my father. And let me tell you, that has been very difficult, and not to go too far down the spirituality road, but I have really, in the bottom of my stomach, and that's the only way I know how to explain it, but in the bottom of my stomach, I really have developed this level of peace that whenever I start to get too nervous or too frazzled about anything I have to do, it's just, I always feel good to know that he's still going to make a way. Now, in that process, it might not feel the best the whole entire time, but I know he always going to come through for me. So I asked. So if they say, well, man, we ain't gonna be able to hire you, I'm like, well, bye, bitches.
I'm not to say,
thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, right. I think we want to encourage all of our Black women, if you're out there listening, and you're qualified, if they offer you the position, it's clearly that they clearly think, you know, you're worthy enough to get that position. So I'm not saying go in there like Ms. Ray, I mean like Kanye, and offer ask for 50 million. Like, you might want to adjust that number just a little bit, but like, ask for whatever it is you want. Closed mouths don't get fed. So, I mean, I think we have to stop being intimidated by our worth and our value and who we are as Black women and just go for it.
And in that, you know, not only are we being basically prejudiced towards, is that prejudice towards?
What kind of word was that?
People are prejudicing us. Is that a word?
Yeah. Oh, what? Let me look it up on Webster. Hold on. Keep going.
I don't think it's prejudicing.
Look it up. Go ahead, girl.
Look it up.
got you, sis.
So,
I got you.
but in that, like, I've also known to where, like, if there's another black woman already on the team, sis feel like it ain't enough room for both of us.
Yes.
So sis gonna try to take my legs from up under me before I even get in the door. Why?
It's a word called prejudicing.
Boom!
But
Period. The librarian herself.
Not what it's eating. You add a little zesty towards it. It's not what it's eating.
It's the braces.
It's like icing.
I told you, open your mouth, dogs.
But no, I think that I like that, because I was honestly going back to the point where Miss Ray said, where, you know, the black lady in her position stood up there and point that person out to all these black women and told them that, hey, you need to straighten your hair. Like, I think, you know, sometimes, and I'm probably gonna tick some people off when I say this, you know.
Do
it. Call it out.
But
come on, Kanye.
Oh, you got me on my ish now.
Yeah.
It upsets me when black women get in positions of power and just lose every bit of
they turn into a
common sense. Yeah, they start acting real coonish, and they're just like, you're a black woman just like me. Like, how did you feel in the situation when you were in my spot, fighting to be in the position that you're in now? And then you get in that place, and it's just like you don't even have any kind of consideration or compassion from the position in which you come from. So, like, when I get into it, now as a black woman, I got to be extra, and I'm gonna say extra bitchy, extra mean. Now I gotta let you know that I'm the boss, so you gonna have to listen to me. I don't care what you got going on. And they just become so unhuman sometimes, and it's just like,
yes.
Or is it inhuman?
And it's not inhuman. Towards everybody.
I got it right.
Themselves. It's not towards everybody. It's towards themselves. Because, sis, at the end of the day, when you look in the mirror, we are each other. So you sitting here trying to make yourself look good in front of people who will not jump in front of a fucking bus for you, but you want to tear me down to make them smile, because that's all you getting out of it.
Let me pop their bubbles real quick. Just to take it on a little deeper level, you know, with the spiritual aspect. You know, I don't know why I'm just I
always get your key sweat thing on. You know,
I don't know why I'm just on this spiritual thing, but you know, you do realize that when you go into a place, and this is for the black women that feel like they are so far removed from that beginning, that embryo stage that we enter into organizations or any sort of way of life. But you do know that when you're allowed to get to these places, your job is to turn yourself, position yourself so that you can help others up like you, or just gain enough information so that you can go create a table for someone else. You're never supposed to live in those spaces, because those spaces weren't created for you. And as you continue to stay in those spaces, you begin to rot. That's that rotting process, because you were not meant to stay there. You were meant to go in and be like a secret agent and gather the intel, learn what you need to learn, and then go out and disperse and disseminate the information out into your community so that you can create opportunities for those that are coming behind you. You were never meant to be at Sturgis and Wolfgang, whatever law firm. Forever. Your job was to go learn the game and be on your doggone Tariq, what's his name, Tariq, teach me the game, Ghost, because that's your job. Your job is to be able to help those that are coming behind you. But see, they get so caught up in, I work over here at Sturgis and there ain't nobody else doing what I'm doing because I'm driving the latest Audi and I can go to the Gucci store, whomever you patronize, and buy whatever the newest article of clothing off the rack. But you forget your sister over here that didn't have the same opportunities that you had, and you've forgotten her because you feel like you've done it all on your own.
They ain't forgotten. I disagree with that. That's not a forgot. They are choosing to go the other way.
Because they don't want to share the fruits of their
spotlight. Exactly. That's
right. But I want to also make this very clear, and I'm gonna shut up. When you get to a certain place, or you're at a certain place in your life, and let's just say that's a great place, I really want people to stop thinking it's because you did everything right, or you deserve it, or you live this life that is without blame and all this other kind of stuff. Some people don't have the same tools in their toolbox, so you had good choices to make. Some people don't even have good choices to make in that regard. Let's just say with credit, because that's easy. some people's parents take care of their credit. So you don't turn 18 and you already got a light bill and a car note and a cell phone bill and all this crap in your name. Your parents have really made a way for you to get there. So it's easier for you to maintain good credit as opposed to someone that grew up to where when they get 18 here, they got a light bill, a car payment, they got a mortgage that they got foreclosed on.
And so I never saw cable in my house, but
right, they got a cable bill. They ain't pay the bill. So when you hear people talking about, oh, how you ain't got good credit, because ma'am, I never started my life with good credit. You know what I'm saying? Right. So the center of that is you had good choices to make. I'm having to deal with the choices that were made for me and try to do better. So I just want people to remember when you get in those positions, it's not always because you did everything right. It's just sometimes things are given to you or you had different things afforded to you that the next person didn't. So it's going to take them a little longer to get there. And if you there, help them. Like, what's the harm in that?
Never place yourself in a platform where you can't look back and help other people out, because you've came from this kind of situation, and you, of course, were able to have the support that you need to get into places, opportunities. A lot of the places that I got into wasn't because I was just so amazing, it was just the opportunity presented itself, and I act on it, and some things.
In its favor,
right? And it's God. And so, like, nothing in my life it's because of me, it's because of him. And so, like, I always try to use that as my motivation to go back and help other people, especially our Black people, because we need it, man. We living in a different world,
right? And I mean, just to be real, they do it every day.
Exactly. They get
so I mean, even if somebody was like, Alicia, you hired that person because she was Black. You're damn right, Susan, and I'm fucking do it again. You goddamn right. I have no objections. Next question.
Because if it was your sis, you would have did it too.
Well, they probably wouldn't even went through the interview process. Now, let me be very clear. That has not happened. And let me be very clear. I'm not going to sit up here and hire them because
they're not qualified.
But let her come in there and she looked like me and she qualified. Y'all can go home. I found her. Thanks.
But see, that's why and when people say systemic racism and all that stuff don't exist, like this is in the pudding right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can have the same person, both people who are equally qualified. You know what I mean? And I'm probably going to identify. Me personally, and I'm just being honest. If my sister got it, she qualified, she doing her thing, she come in professional, I'm gonna take my chance on her and shoot. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But what I'm saying is, a lot of positions, people have a lot of positions because of their skin color and not because they're qualified.
No.
But right. And so, like, what we supposed to do?
Right, because you know what?
I'm not to cut you off, Miss.
No, you were going. Go ahead.
I feel like I've interviewed for so many positions where I knew with 100%, like, God was speaking to me that I was 100% qualified for this position. Yet they gave it to another white counterpart just because they can. You get what I'm saying? And they be half as qualified.
And I'll be so excited when that happen.
But like, come on, like, you got to pick your stuff up and keep chucking,
But let me tell y'all something. I get so excited when I figure out that I've been screwed over. You know why? Because when God put me up there, when he put me up there finally, all them motherfuckers gonna be like, oh, I sure
hired her. God and MF in the same
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Don't he know me? He know me. I'd be a fool to step here and try to act like, oh, because of the Lord, he made me. I'd be a whole fool. But I can't wait, because when he put me where I'm finally going, and he set me on top where everybody can look up and see me, and everybody that had the opportunity to work with me, and let me be clear. I don't think as Black women we toot our horn enough. I'm damn good at what I do. Anything I touch, that shit is great, because I'm going to make sure it's right. And so with that being the case, when people had the opportunity to work with me, they turned me down for things. And when God finally put me where I'm supposed to be, they all going to have to look at me. And they all going to have to say, damn, I fucked up. I fucked that up. And that's what I be liking. So I don't feel no kind of way when I get screwed over, and you shouldn't either, because at the end of the day, when he get through, he do that just to give people an opportunity to treat you properly. And when they don't do nothing but increase your blessing. That's just dope right there. That's just dope to me. So girl,
Dope as fuck. Right.
I don't be caring.
That is, I love when you say that. Like, Alicia is like legit my diary. Like, when
I quit.
no, she can't quit. Like, this is a
You trust
position
her?
she is not a, I do. Like,
It's this face, but I'm horrible.
Do you know who you're confiding your life into?
I know.
like yesterday, I was just in such like a funk, and I just called Alicia, and she was just like, "Just tell me what's wrong." And I just went on a rampage, and she was rolling her eyes, and every time she wanted to say something, I would interrupt her and keep talking, and she would just like start rubbing her edge, just like I was really getting on her nerves. But
I got a little spot coming.
She was hearing me though.
It's from a
dummy. You gotta know when she get nervous, she start cussing and she start doing all this other stuff. So you can't, that's growth for her. The fact that she was rubbing those spots and not cussing.
I wasn't giving her no chance to talk though. I was just still talking, and she was trying to say something. I just really wasn't offering it. But I say all of that to say is that we don't have, because I want to wrap up the professionalism part. I mean, bottom line is Black women don't have enough support, whether professionalism, whether just anything in general. We don't have enough support. So when we're advocating for ourselves, that's literally because that's all the advocation we have.
Yeah.
I can't go find somebody else to be like, hey, can you collaborate my story for me, please? Even though I have all the damn evidence.
Come on, guys!
Oh, wait, what you doing, girl?
Oh, that's a wagon. You dragging.
But it's insane because I really wanted to transition on into like the medication and the medical aspect.
The medical field, not just medication.
I said medical aspect.
Sorry.
If you hadn't talked over me, you would have heard.
Sorry.
Right. Anywho, Black women are so neglected. Black women's bodies are so neglected. A lot of times, I know for myself with Nyla, I was in labor for 51 hours.
Nyla would have been in my stomach.
Sarah would have, like, legit. Sarah wasn't coming out for nobody.
Uh-huh.
But with Nyla, I was in labor for 51 hours. And when I tell y'all, 48 and 42 minutes of those hours, it was no medication at all. I didn't have an epidural. I didn't have nothing. I was going strong because I wanted to have a natural birth 100% of the way. So not only did they induce me, I did not want to be induced. Not only was I induced because I had hypertension. Never had high blood pressure a day in my life. And they would check my blood pressure after they made me walk across a football field to get to the damn door. And they want to check my blood pressure. Well, done, my blood pressure high. I'm hauling like 80 pounds extra. I'm tired. I'm hot. It's summertime. I'm hot.
Right.
So they induced me, and then they literally they stuck a balloon, like a legit balloon. I don't want to say up my vagina, and they tied a string to it, and then they put water in a glove at the bottom of the bed to try to make me dilate and open my cervix. Like, that was just one of the many different things that they tried on me to induce my labor. And finally, after I was just like, I can't do this no more. Like, we in damn near day 3. Like, what is we about to do at this point? I had a cesarean. And when I tell you, these nurses was trying to get medication up me, they was tripping all over my IVs.
She don't make a sound.
Like, it was awful.
Huh? You do know we recording. You would have made a sandwich.
I was hungry.
How you make a sandwich that quick though?
I was hungry. You want
We
some?
leaving this in the video.
Y'all
This
want some?
better be on the video when I watch it. I need to know.
No, you know
I'm
she
in
gonna
control of editing. I can take whatever I
You
want to
better
take
not
out.
edit this out because I need folks to see that doggone onion or whatever that was hanging from your mouth. I need that to happen.
I don't need to know what
Carry
my
on,
mouth is.
Adanya, because we need to get on through this
So
segment.
that was with Nyla, and then with Syra, I couldn't, like, we tried to do a natural, dilated to a 9. Syra was she was head down, but she was sunny side up. In my mind, had they did an ultrasound when I got there, we would have known that she wasn't facing the right position. But no, that didn't happen. So whenever I had a C-section with Syra, like they were packing me up. They were saying, you're good to go home. And I'm like, no, something's not right. I'm in a lot of pain. Something's not right. For me to find out that, I guess my uterus wasn't retracting right, and I had a whole damn blood clot that nobody was going to try to get out unless I literally told them I wasn't going to go home. I literally had to tell them, no, I'm not going home. Something's not right. So I say all of that to say that Black women over the age of 40 are 5 times likely to die, like giving childbirth, than white women. I was trying to talk about that 24-year-old that died from a massive heart attack giving childbirth. Her and her child died. And then, what's her name?
Nicole Thea.
Yeah, she was a YouTube
a British
personality.
YouTuber.
Yes,
And those are my favorite accents.
we all know you thought
Because you
you were
think you
British at one point in time, even though you're full Black American.
Let me go ahead and finish Googling how to do a podcast by yourself. Miss Thea, she had a massive heart attack. Like, did she go to, and I don't want to be disrespectful to her family or anything that they're going through. In case by some chance they hear us. But
we ain't that famous. We ain't that famous.
we gonna get there. But I feel like, what if she had some sort of concerns and she was dismissed? Similar to Adonya's story, when I had my daughter, my pelvis was too small. I was never going to push my child out. No one told me that. So I pushed for 3.5 hours, after being in labor to 24, and I pushed actively for 3.5 hours, and they was telling me, you're not doing enough, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, and I'm like, I'm utterly exhausted. It was so bad because on like the table when you have the bed, they got these 2 little grip poles on the one side. All my nails was cracked, like just across the top, for me, like literally trying to give birth to my daughter, just for the gynecologist to come in and say, what are y'all doing? Like, why didn't y'all come get me before now? She's never going to have this baby. And I ended up having to get an emergency C-section.
Alicia, why don't you talk about
Okay, Beyonce.
Like the mother of modern day medicine? Like,
oh, y'all talking about Miss the Queen, Miss Henrietta Lacks.
Yes.
Okay, so Miss Henrietta Lacks is the Black woman whose cells are the source of the HeLa cell line. There was Oprah did like this whole movie on her. She had cervical cancer, and her cells were just so amazing that they literally were just reproducing at alarming rates. Like, just they were all the person that gave the interview, like from one of the people that worked in the lab, said that they were like coming through the air vents, like they were on every single surface within their labs, because they were just like overrunning the place. So these cells are still utilized today in modern medicine. And this woman, of course, are sad to say, she did pass away from cancer, but her cells were harvested and utilized for many years, and her family received no compensation, and they really honestly didn't even know, if it were not for her daughter not giving up on just carrying this further, we would never even have known that this was the mother of all modern medicine. I'm talking about from shots, medicines. I mean, anything that you can think of that has to do with like medicine that we receive that helps us be more great. It came from this black woman who had to die in order for this to come to pass because no one was taking her seriously. No one was doing the things that needed to be done while she was alive. But then once she died and they illegally took parts of her and they realized what was going on with her, they used it against everybody's will. Like nobody knew this was happening. And this is how we came to have a lot of our modern medical advancements. That's the word I was looking for. So that is just crazy that her value in death was more than her life. And then on top of that, they knew the value of what she was and just tried to keep it to themselves. And there's so many so many white names on these advancements with no mention of Henrietta Lacks anywhere in the copyrights, anywhere in the documents. Nowhere is these white men and these white women that have said, "Oh, I've created this thing, and I've made these advancements and I've made these discoveries," but not mentioning and crediting the source. The source. Yeah. My cousin, shout out to T Money. You came through again.
Hey, Teriel.
It's Trey. I'm gonna need for you I'm gonna need for you to clear that up right now.
My bad.
Call me.
I said Teriel. My bad.
What kind of freaking name is that?
Okay, I know someone named Teriel.
She got some mimosas in that orange juice. That's what it is.
She got to. But listen, so she sent me this cool app, and it's called In Her Hue, and it is HUE. In Her Hue, and it is an app that helps you find black healthcare providers. And then it even has any type of doctor you need, therapist. It's deep, it's dope. And then it has resources. It has a tab on the resources that allows you to look up other things. So it is, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna be real.
Let us see your phone.
Ingenuity here, and you just kind of you just can scroll through it, and you see all these beautiful melanated sisters and brothers on here that can help you through whatever you need. So then you click on the resources tabs, and it gives you just quick links to different things that can also help just build your mental health, spiritual, whatever. It's got you linked in. Now the only thing is fairly new, I'm assuming. And so for my area, me being in Arkansas, I don't see a lot of information in regards to that. But it's Atlanta, the hot spots for where we are. It's got you covered.
It's gonna come up with a part 2.
Yes,
of black women in society.
We will discuss the relationship aspect. What else we got, Miss Cleo?
We are going to
wrap it up.
Okay, so
wrap it up like some of y'all should have did, but then you didn't, and now you got a twin, and now you're mad, and you're real big mad, but you should have wrapped that shit up, and now you're sad. Shout out to Trojan. What's our song for today? Because please don't say
Shaka,
I'm every woman, yeah.
Shaka.
I'm every woman.
I've been singing all day.
It's all in me.
You gonna do
anything you want done, baby?
No, I was excited for that song.
Okay, sorry, Amber, go carry it. Thank
you guys for listening to Brown Liquor. We appreciate all the love and support. Stay tuned for part 2 where we talk about black women in society. Love y'all. Peace out. Miss Ray, don't say anything else. Say bye.
I got something to say, y'all. Don't forget. Listen, call about Brianna Taylor.
This is important.
Call about Brianna. They arrested a whole gang of black people at the peaceful protest. Portia Williams was in that. YBN Corday. I can't think of her name right now, but the sister that gave the first impassioned speech that went viral at a rally, she got arrested. Trey Day got arrested. All these people got arrested, and we still haven't arrested the people that killed Breonna Taylor. So please make sure you're still calling. Please make sure you're still. We haven't forgot you, sister. We have not forgot.
Oh,
And then they just released a recording that where she was actually alive for 5 minutes and no one called for help. They sit there and let her suffocate. They did not do anything to try to save our sister, and I got a big problem with that. Side note, and I'm about to shut up. The main one just was on the beach with his family, living his best fucking life, and our sister dead. And you want to arrest a peaceful protester? So I got a problem with that. So come on, do not forget. Don't let us down. Please call for Breonna Taylor, because this is getting to the point of ridiculousness. And I'm gonna say this and I'm done. I don't know how we as black people are gonna come back from this. I don't even know what normal is gonna look like going forward, because yeah.
you gonna tell them the number, sis?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell them the number. It's 502-595-2300. That is 502-595-2300. I'm gonna say that one more time without me messing up. It's 502-595-2300. That is for Breonna Taylor. Come on. All right.
And now I hate to follow up behind Breonna Taylor and talk about my twin, because I do look like a little Nick Cannon here. But if y'all haven't listened to Nick Cannon's opinion on his own foundation, on his own platform before he was fired, y'all need to go listen to that. Brother was
staying with
all
you.
kinds of
Staying with you, Nick Cannon. Yes, we stand with you.
We do, and we can probably talk about that in our next show, because it kind of fits into where we're going. So stay tuned. That will give it time to have more developments, but just know we love you in the interim, and I'm not ever gonna stop feeling some kind of way about how people have publicly said, "Oh no, we gotta condemn Nick." Listen, black people, let me tell y'all this before we go. Let me tell y'all something.
Oh, here we go.
I got upset. Stop thinking you gotta chastise us for the white man to give his seal of approval to you. You ain't got to chastise me in the house when ain't nothing rolling. Call my phone, Charles Barkley. I'm talking to you, because you could have got that man's number instead of you bringing your big ham dog head ass on the doggone Instagram and trying to chastise him and tell him where he went wrong. You wrong, because we got enough people looking at us sideways for it and without a fellow black person, and the white folks like, see, even the black people think they stupid as hell. No, call that man phone if you feel like it was something wrong with what he said. By the way, I never think the truth is wrong, so there's that. I'm done.
And there you have it. Find out more on the next edition of Brown Liquor. See ya.
Bye y'all. See y'all.